These are 10 of some of the best tips and tricks for Hearts of Iron 4 in 2026. With the game about to celebrate its 10th anniversary this year, a lot has changed about it in that time. So if you're just getting into the game now, or you've been playing it for years, some of these tips will still definitely surprise you. Without further ado, let's get into it. For our first tip, take advantage of entrenchment. If you're fighting a defensive war or need to hold a certain part of a front line, entrenchment can make or break whether or not you push back an enemy offensive. When you keep divisions in the same tile for a prolonged period of time, that division will automatically start digging trenches in the region, boosting its overall defensive capacity, so the enemy is going to have to throw more men and equipment at the same divisions. This is sometimes why you see players draw backup defensive lines behind the main front line. They're giving those troops time to build up their entrenchment in case the main front collapses. The second tip is to keep an eye on your economy law. To sum up the economy, you have civilian and military factories. Civilian factories build other buildings, while the military factories build the actual equipment for your army. One of the biggest economic bottlenecks you're going to face is the delegation of civilian factories to consumer goods, because even if you're gearing up for war, your population still demands things like cars and toasters. The easiest way to cut down your consumer goods spending is by changing your economic laws closer towards war economy. You delegate about 5% less towards consumer goods for every law you pass. It also provides other benefits like faster military factory construction, but consumer goods is the main thing we're concerned about. Tip number 3, don't ignore supply. One of the fastest ways to lose a war in Hearts of Iron 4 is to ignore supply. Every division needs supply to fight effectively, and when too many troops are packed into one area, they'll start suffering penalties to attack, defense, and organization. Always keep an eye on the supply map mode, especially when fighting in places like the Soviet Union, China, or Africa. Building railways, upgrading hubs, and using logistics companies can make the difference between a stalled front and a successful push. Tip number 4, air superiority wins wars. If you're struggling to break through enemy lines, chances are you're losing the air war. Air superiority provides massive combat bonuses, reducing enemy defense and boosting your own attacks. Even a modest fighter force can turn the tide of battle if you deploy it properly, and if you really want to damage enemy divisions, deploy air superiority fighters alongside close air support. The close air support will directly interfere with battles and damage the enemy unit's organization. You could even use strategic bombers to cripple your enemy's economy, and in Hearts of Iron 4, they are overpowered when you start to produce a large number of them. There's a reason strategic bombers are banned in most multiplayer matches. Tip number 5, division templates matter more than numbers. Throwing more divisions at the enemy isn't always the answer. Bad templates will bleed manpower and equipment for very little gain. For beginners, make sure you focus on simple, reliable templates, something like 9 or 10 infantry battalions with support artillery and engineers. As you get more comfortable, you can start optimizing combat widths and specialized divisions, but a good template will always outperform spam and give you a better fundamental understanding of the strength of your army. Tip number 6, use battle plans, even if you micro. Even if you prefer micromanaging your units, drawing battle plans is still important. Divisions assigned to a plan slowly build up a planning bonus, which gives them an extra attack and breakthrough when they actually fight. You don't have to press the execute button, just having the plan drawn can give you a serious edge when launching offensives. Tip number 7, don't forget your navy, and especially not submarines. Naval warfare can seem overwhelming, but you don't need to master every mechanic to be effective. Submarines are one of the easiest ways to hurt stronger naval powers by raiding their convoys and starving them of resources. Even a small submarine fleet can cripple an enemy economy if they're not prepared. This is especially effective against nations like the United Kingdom or Japan, who are entirely dependent on convoy trading. Tip number 8, advisors and spirits are huge. Political power isn't just for laws. Advisors, military staff, and national spirits can massively boost your research speed, production, army performance, and stability. A well-chosen advisor early on can snowball into huge advantages later in the game, so don't let political power sit unused. Personally, I like to pick whatever gives me more political power in the early game, and I swap those advisors out later in the game when political power isn't as much of a scarcity. Tip number 9, you don't need to research everything. Trying to research every tech is a trap. Focus on what actually supports your strategy. If you're playing a land-focused nation, prioritize industry, infantry equipment, and artillery. Naval tech for a landlocked country or heavy tanks for a minor nation usually isn't worth the time, and you don't have the industry to support that anyways. It's never a bad idea to have a research slot dedicated to industry or engineering, because those boost the underlying economy of your nations and help you snowball in the later game. Tip 10. Pause the game. This might be the most important tip of all. Hearts of Iron 4 is not meant to be played in real time all the time. Pause often, especially during wars, to fix supply issues, reinforce weak points, adjust air zones, and respond to enemy breakthroughs. This is how you're going to learn how all the pieces fit together and gain confidence in your overall strategy as a nation leader. Even veteran players pause constantly, so don't feel like you're cheating by using it. So, we've just gone over 10 of some of the best tips I can think of in modern Hearts of Iron 4. Before I close this video out, I'd just like to bring up a couple honorable mentions, tips that are still really good for overall gameplay, but are a little more situational. The first thing we're going to bring up is that spy networks can actually reduce enemy entrenchment. Remember entrenchment we were talking about in an earlier tip? If you are a major nation and have a spy network built up, you can actually assign intel networks to enemy states, and as that spy network builds out, it'll slowly reduce the enemy's maximum entrenchment in that region. So if you have enough spies in an enemy nation, it can actually negate an enemy entrenchment entirely. Another honorable mention is that Force Attack and Last Stand are situationally broken. Command abilities are easy to forget, but in the right moment, they're insanely strong. Force Attack lets your divisions keep attacking even when they should normally stop, which is perfect for punching through a key tile or closing an encirclement. Last Stand, on the other hand, can hold a critical choke point far longer than it has any right to, buying time for reinforcements to counterattack. Just remember, both of these abilities burn manpower and equipment, so use them sparingly. For the last honorable mention, make sure you're monitoring what terrain you're taking your offensives on. Not all tiles are created equal. Attacking across rivers, into mountains, or through forest comes with brutal penalties that can completely stall an offensive. On the other side, defending on rivers or in mountains massively amplifies your entrenchment and defensive bonuses, while attacking on plains gives your armor and breakthrough focused divisions room to shine. Sometimes the smartest move isn't pushing harder, it's attacking somewhere else. And that's 10 of some of the best tips and tricks for Hearts of Iron 4. Whether you're completely new to the game or you've been playing for years, mastering these basics will instantly make your campaigns smoother and way more successful. If you found this helpful, consider leaving a like, and if you want more Hearts of Iron 4 guides, challenges, or history-focused content, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.